Hey folks, my name is Pravus and welcome to more Farthest Frontier in Dryton, playing at extreme difficulty. And in the last video, we accomplished a very substantial milestone. We got ourselves up to a Tier 4 town center, which is awesome because this now means we have access to pretty much a lot of the endgame content now. But there's also a lot we're currently missing. So much is still locked behind all of these tech points. I am nowhere near done with this game, and ultimately what I'd like to do is actually start building out all of these monuments, since those are brand new content with the 1.0 release. We have a long way to go before that's going to be a reality. Now you might be looking at this and saying, okay, well, I mean, at the end of the day though, you've basically beaten the game, right? From here on out it should be relatively smooth sailing. Let's upgrade this temple, by the way. No, not necessarily. So one thing I didn't exactly mention in the last video, but is very much on my mind, I am pretty confident that the difficulty of raids is at least tied somewhat to your town center level. Now that we are at Tier 4, I am pretty confident that the next raid is going to be very dangerous. So, knowing that that is the case, we need to be prepared to mount some serious assaults, or we are going to be in a lot of trouble. So we'll start expanding out the companies a little bit. Let's get this thing upgraded into a fort as soon as we have enough bricks, which admittedly is going to be a bit. And we will need to start planning out some cavalry here pretty soon. We've got 9 horses. 9 is okay, but we're gonna need a lot more than that. Basically, if you think it's been rough so far, you ain't seen nothing yet, alright? It's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better. Aside from worrying about the upcoming raids, though, what are some other goals that we could be taking right now? Because that's the problem I have as a content creator. In previous videos, it's easy to have nice little achievable milestones and say, alright, this video we're gonna get to Tier 2, this one we're going to unlock a certain military threshold, and blah blah blah. From here on out, things are a little bit more sandboxy. We kind of plot our own course and continue growing, trying to unlock everything, working toward these monuments, but how we get there is largely going to be up to us as long as we can survive, which is not a foregone conclusion. Personally, I am not one of those gamers that says, oh, can we get ourselves up to 2,000 population and then try to destroy my poor little computer. I'm not a cancerous tumor, okay? I don't just grow for the sake of growing. That's how I get bored. Personally, I like to grow when there is some sort of an intent. So growth will occur, but it's going to be kind of methodical. There's going to be a lot of jump cuts, most likely. And then from there on out, I don't really know. I think one objective we could pursue, if we want to, is we could try to conquer the map. And by that, I mean like literally reveal every little pocket in the minimap in the bottom left over here, clear out all of the raiders, and clear out all of the wolf dens. Those are the only hostile entities that I can really do anything about. Bears, I'm pretty sure, are always going to be a threat. They just spawn because the game says, screw you, you need a bear. But besides that, we can at least make this place reasonably safe for our local populace. And I do know there's another raiders camp somewhere over here. There it is. Let's just go ahead and clear that out now. Company, march! Yes, little raiders, for once, you are the one who is about to be invaded. How does it feel? Answer is probably not freaking good. All right, my soldiers should be able to make very clean work of this. I don't anticipate taking any losses. I did lose someone. Are you freaking kidding me? He must have been crit. That was a critical hit if ever I saw one, for sure. Oh, apparently clearing out these camps is worth a knowledge point. I didn't know that, actually. Hey, that's cool. All the more reason to clear them out, I suppose. All right, there's a couple things I want to do along here. First thing I'm going to do is actually increase the fill rate of my wells. Just a little bit. Why? Well, because I've been looking at the main population over here, and I'm seeing that some of my central wells are running out of water. This tells me that we have too dense of a population and we're not really keeping up. That's kind of an issue. So if we can increase the fill rate just a bit, maybe we can solve that without having to do much else, because there's not really any other good water sources around here. So if we can't make do, we're in trouble. After that, though, I think what I want to do is actually swing back over here to industry, because what we could do is boost up our production logistics so it's a little bit faster for us to produce things like firewood, pottery, blah, blah, blah. That's nice, but not super important. But what this does lead to is production management, 10% production speed for heavy tool buildings. There are a lot of those in the game, including such things as my blacksmiths. And, you know, being able to produce a lot more iron goods to either sell or arm my people might be a pretty helpful thing, don't you think? We done with that temple yet? Not quite, but we're about to be. There it is! Woo! That's quite the upgrade. Wait, When did it start getting 3 relic slot? Have I been able to use 2 this whole time? I'll bet you there's been comments screaming at me about that one. I'll bet you there has. Okay, hang on. So can I please activate another relic? No? Wait. Oh, I need priests! Okay, that's my issue. I didn't know that you had to have multiple priests in order for this to work. Now I know. So, okay, we can do this. This is enough to get me a spirituality bonus, which I don't exactly remember what it does. I assume it's part of the desirability and happiness mechanic. But we'll do that. And then do we want to have the roots of the tree so we can have more fruit, or do I want to go for the antlers of the Great Spirit for more meat? Good question. I think I'll just take the meat for now. We might replace this later with something else, depending on if we can get some sort of a set bonus, or if I can find something that's going to boost up the damage of all of my soldiers, because again, from here on out, I really think the raids are going to be what could kill me. You think I'm joking, because up to this point, it hasn't been that bad. I ain't joking. I think it really could kill me. You know, another thing that would be really nice to be able to do would be to upgrade my houses to tier 4. We're not that far off, believe it or not, despite the fact that we kind of just upgraded everything. You don't need that much. We need 80% desirability, and in this case, I'm already at 75, so we're pretty close. More food variety, and then just either furniture or glassware. And guess what? I'm doing okay when it comes to glassware, so yeah, pretty close here. A little bit more desirability would be enough to do the job. The upgraded temple is certainly going to help with that. Another thing we could do if I go down the technology route over here, if we started in this direction and kind of worked our way, we could get to beautification. 8% more desirability for parks and for shrines. Now, is that multiplicative or additive? I don't know. If it's multiplicative, then it's pretty negligible. We're talking maybe 0.5% if I'm lucky. But if it's additive, all of a sudden parks become really good at boosting up that beautification. So desirability will be really high. Okay, raiders are on the way. I see at least a couple of groups. Interestingly, they're only coming from one direction. Okay, does this mean that we're going to get a small group today, and I'm very lucky? Or does this mean that 100 raiders are about to hit me in the same spot and I am going to have the biggest battle of all time? I don't actually know, and that scares me. 88 raiders. So it really is going to be putting 88 raiders all in one spot. Oh, no. All right, what do we got to work with? That's a few more siege engines. I don't see catapults. So I'm not going to lie. I think this is probably the easiest thing we could possibly have hoped for here. 2 battering rams will become a problem. And all these guys being set up together means that I'm not in a position to, like, split them up unless they voluntarily choose to do so. Which they might. I don't know. But, like, I've played this game, and at tier 4 is when I started seeing, like, 5 catapults in the same raid. So I'm just going to go and guess that maybe today we're getting a little lucky. Let's see how these guys choose to split themselves. They probably all won't come to the exact same spot, will they? Or will they? Oh my god, they might actually. Well, I have the high ground, so my crossbowman actually can do something. You, sir, just ran through a gate, Talia. That's very impressive. And apparently is going to be holding the line single-handedly. I mean, she's got phenomenal armor, credit where it's due. Like, I don't know, she might even be able to do something here. All hail Talia, the bravest of you all. Everyone else maybe get in there and help her out a little bit? No? Okay then. Yeah, they're gonna knock down this gate. Once that happens, we're in trouble. They really are all hitting me in one spot. I thought for sure they were going to start splitting themselves up around the gates. I thought they would, but apparently not. Well, here we go. One giant fight for the ages, I guess. I'm gonna try to micro my units and prevent as many deaths as possible. It may work, it may not, but, I mean, these guys are getting kind of shredded, aren't they? Dang, dude. I'm just watching Talia. Like, one person got through and she's like, stab him! Oh, I want to hear epics sung about Talia from here on out. I really do. Not Anna, though. She's just standing here. Weak. For real, though, we are wrecking some serious face. Hey, cavalry, have you got all of your armaments yet? Oh, good, they're ready to go. Sweet, get out here! I'm probably gonna lose this tower, which makes me angry, because this thing's very expensive. Or not. Oh, nice. Talia, as always, getting right into the thick of things. Dang, dude, they're running! That's it, they're running! They see the cavalry on the way. I am actually amazed. Unironically, actually, really legitimately amazed. Holy crud, dude. One villager was killed. Really? It looks like maybe one archer died. I'll be honest, I'm not convinced that the person died because he was attacked, though. He may have just died of, like, a heart attack. This is one problem with setting up my army, is a lot of the people who've been here for a very long time, they are getting old and they are dying. So I've noticed that happen before, but, I mean, good God. That took what was otherwise a very nasty raid and turned it into something extremely manageable. Oh, that felt good. That felt really good. Anyway, all right, expeditionary forces, scout, look for the raiders. I want to kill them. There are bound to be more on this map somewhere. And as I go, whenever I see these little wolf dens and stuff over here, why not just send the cavalry to go finish them off? I mean, they make very short work of wolves, unsurprisingly. Woo, found the raiders. All right. Do I think that 4 horsemen can conquer this?
As you command.
Possibly. I mean, it's pushing it a little bit. Let's take a look at their health bars and just see how this goes. Well, we destroyed it. I didn't mean to attack the building, but okay, cool. Another knowledge point for me. And we got a relic? Targo's hammer. Blacksmiths and armories work faster. Well, that's very cool. And the answer is yes, by the way. 4 heavy horsemen absolutely can destroy a camp by themselves. Holy crud, dude. I mean, I knew these guys were good, but, like, I didn't know they'd be that good. Hey, raiders! Kill them all. Kill them all! Okay, that's too big of a raider site. Run, 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 run! Okay, I'm pretty sure the further away from the center of the map, the worse this gets. Found them, though. They also have the height advantage. That doesn't help anything. Okay, all right. Troops, get ready. My hope is I can find a way to kind of draw the enemy out so that I don't have to be sitting there taking so many shots. Maybe I can. At least I managed to draw out all of their archers and stuff so we can clean those all up from back here using my cavalry, if nothing else. Good lord, they have so many towers, though. This actually has become kind of a huge problem.
As you command.
And as usual, my archers are just so squishy. Like, they're really, really easy to kill. I'm very unsatisfied with them, if I'm honest. Very unsatisfied. Anyway, that's finally dealt with. It had a fair bit of loot to it. No knowledge points, though, which kind of sucks. We just need heavy soldiers from here on out. That's really what it comes down to. Plate mail is just too good. Oh, found another raider encampment. Hello, back up. This one looks relatively small. I think I could handle this one, actually. Yeah, let's go deal with it with just my horsemen. Shouldn't be a problem, I think. There we go. Easy enough. Got a knowledge point. Thank you. So now we can get that production management. Sweet. Another small little camp. Kill them all, I say. Oh, wait, there's more over here. Where'd they come from? Oh my gosh, there's a lot more all of a sudden. Seriously, where'd they come from? Get out of here. Another knowledge point! God, I'm loving this. Wow, we should have been more aggressive earlier. This has been phenomenal. Well, on the plus side, something I'm pretty sure we are successfully doing right now, every time we destroy one of these camps, we are delaying quote-unquote raider activity. So I'm pretty sure what we are doing by being aggressive is we are buying ourselves time back at the main city without having a lot of raider attacks. Might mean that the next one that hits is going to be a real doozy. I don't know, but it buys me time to just kind of keep things going. As they say, best offense is a good defense, or whatever. Ooh, see, this is one of those relics I had been talking about here. Bows, crossbows, towers deal 15% more damage. That could be useful in an emergency situation. Very useful. Tempted to buy that. I think I will, just because it gives me some really good options later. Okay, we have raiders on the way. That bears a problem. Interestingly, though, now that I've explored so much of the map, I can see exactly where they've appeared. Looks like we've only got one group. I don't really know what to make of that. Kind of worries me a little bit, but okay. I feel like the best thing to do is probably to try to set myself up on these hills. Because if they're going to approach me from the direction I think, then having the high ground wouldn't be a bad idea. Like, why are they moving in this direction? What do you see that I don't? Are they just gonna sit here? Yep, they're stuck. Didn't even react to me for a long time. And they're all just brawlers, too. Wait, these are like the weakest of the weak. And with that, I think this might be the end of the map. Okay. This land has officially been cleansed of raider and wolf filth. I'm gonna start working on beautification here, by the way. But before we do, let's take a quick look at something and just see... this house is right next to a park, so right now you're sitting at 72% desirability. I don't expect it to go up by a full 8%, but I mean, like, let's see just how much it does go up, if at all. The answer is 1%. Oh, God. Guys, it might be multiplicative. Well, that would mean that in theory I can at least boost it up by 24%. Eventually that ends up being pretty good, but still. One really serious issue I'm running into right now, though, is actually just straight out my income. The larger I've made this military, the harder it is for me to build up any meaningful amount of gold. Which isn't surprising, but really sucks. I think there might be some relics and such that could reduce the upkeep costs of soldiers even further. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to sustain a much larger military than I've already got, aside from just having a really, really, really big tax base. Like, trade by itself is just, it's hard to say that's going to be enough. Very hard. More raiders approaching, but again, it's only a one small group here, it looks like. 94 raiders in one spot? Whoa, dude. Whoa, dude. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can't do a fair bit of damage over here. I got my crossbow sitting on top of the hill. My melee soldiers can run straight in, maybe not that far in. Good God. Some people, you can't even see. Where are you? Where are you? You're in here. I know you are. Where are you? Who are you? Victoria? Victoria's trying to be the next Talia. That's what she's trying to do. Well, I'm going to use my cavalry to go clear out all of your archers, and let's see how you feel about it when that happens. Oh, it doesn't feel good? Too bad. Unironically, though, we're wrecking these guys. I'm barely taking any losses. Bellany here is the only person in danger of dying. Don't you dare, by the way, because that would lose me some plate armor, and I'd get very peeved about that. And in the meantime, their battering ram is heading up all on its own some over here. That's fine. Leave the safety of your actual protectors. See how little I care. Get wrecked, get wrecked, get wrecked. Son, my God, they're giving up already. All right, it says I lost somebody. I lost a cavalry! God! Frickin'! Okay. I knew somebody ran in there. What was it, Victoria? It was Victoria. Oh my God, you... All right, clear. You know what? For that, kill them all. Kill every single one of them. Suffer none to live. There, they're all dead. Perfect. That 19-year-old, man, she had invincibility syndrome going, and it shows. Oh, here we go. There's that relic I've been talking about. 20% reduced upkeep cost for soldiers. Grab. Could make a very big difference. I mean, I liked having the extra meat. I did. But I want to see how much this really affects overall my bottom line. Because that should greatly reduce my expenditure. Yeah, we went from like 400 on soldiers down to 275. That's pretty good, right? Pretty good? Looks like we might be getting our first tier 4 house over here, by the way. Nice. Several of them, actually. Even better. Oh, that looks charming. Matches with my tier 4 town center. Oh, so very well. Here's something I didn't know, by the way. Hold on. Let's take a look at this. So the very top left. Town population has reached the maximum villager cap of 500. Really? Like, really? 500 is the max? Because I feel like I have nowhere near enough workers to do all the things that I want to do. So apparently I can go into general settings and improve this a little bit. Yeah, this is set at a pretty low level. We can increase this up to 1,000, though. Sure. Hopefully I don't live to regret that. Depends on my computer. Funny thing is, I actually built a brand new computer a few months ago, and I'm really glad I did that before the prices for things like GPUs and RAM really got out of control. Thank you, AI data centers. Anyway, besides the point. So I started doing that. It's sitting here next to me, and I got everything installed on it, and I've never used it. It's just sitting here because it's like the transfer of software and all my files is going to be such an unbelievable pain in the butt that I'm like, I can wait a little bit longer. And the result is, for a long time, I've had this brand new, very high-powered computer sitting there, and I've done nothing with it. Maybe if 1,000 villagers ends up being a huge problem in this game, it's time to do it. By the way, if you're wondering if we're, like, done expanding the city and these walls are kind of where I plan on cementing things, no, probably not. It really depends on how long this series actually continues, but I can think of a few places I wouldn't mind taking. I mean, imagine working your way around some of these mountains and then turning this into a proper hill fort. That could become incredibly powerful. Also, we're going to need more space for some housing. Also, all of our housing is now far enough away from their jobs that that's actually creating some new inefficiencies. It would be better to set up some new housing down, let's say, over in this area right here. Then people wouldn't have quite as long of a walk to get over to the industrial quarter and actually work all these jobs. So this ends up being mostly a large farming community, and this ends up being kind of an industrial neighborhood down over here. As long as it's far enough away from where all of the desirability will be really low, it seems okay to me. But that's a large expansion. I just wanted to have the walls in place now so we could deal with the raiders as they come. And the problem is, like, I really do always need more population. I don't feel like I've really expanded that many more, like, jobs and industries in the last, like, 2 hours. And yet somehow I'm constantly running lower and lower and lower on laborers. Just constantly. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if it's because a huge percentage of our population is getting old and infirm, or what. I just know that it's a problem and it needs to correct itself, or I am going to blow a gasket. And that's really important, actually, because I typically am having to pull a lot of people off of mining jobs just to kind of keep everything else afloat and goods a-flowing. But the result is now I'm running out of things like coal. And if I don't have coal, I can't smelt iron, I can't make bricks, I can't do a bunch of things. So, like, I need to get more miners. So I really need to have a larger population with enough laborers to just kind of float around for a bit. But that's not happening. The good news is, though, if I take a look at this right here with the age brackets, we can see that the population does skew younger than it does old. So, I don't know. I mean, it seems to me like our population growth is still sort of self-correcting. It just hurts, man. Just really hurts. By the way, let's talk a little bit more about fertility, since this has been an ongoing challenge. Let's note that all these fields over here, 100% and everything else, that's looking pretty good. I mean, heck, we're even getting close to 100% up over here, and these are very new fields thanks to fertilization. But what about with all the animals? Well, we can see here that it is building up nicely, about 80% fertility on a lot of this up here. If I sneak down over here, we're at 100% in this area. If I wanted to move all the cows elsewhere, this would now be prime farming real estate. So this is why it's kind of cool having the livestock. Like, over time, it does the same thing, but you're getting extra benefits in the meantime. This is interesting, by the way. I don't think I've ever noticed this before. So, you know how your merchants are going to occasionally bring by some various different relics? Here's a case where both traders are offering the exact same one, the Shard of Markovian's Blade. But the difference is, this guy is offering it for only 2,000 gold, and Atka is offering it for 4,300. God, if only I could just resell the relics back to them, I could just make a huge profit right now, but okay. This increases soldier and guard damage by 15%. I'm going to buy it, again, just in case. It does look suspiciously like the Blades of Narsil, but don't sweat it. It's fine. One serious issue I'm running into right now is drought and disease affecting so many of my crops. Which is funny, because I don't recall having this many issues with drought earlier. And yet somehow, after I picked up 2 technologies that should increase my resistance to drought, at least for grain crops, by 50%, all of a sudden I'm seeing it all over the place. Also, we're starting to have a lot of issues with disease. Now, part of that's because I am allowing for too many connecting farms that'll have the same crops at the same time. If I rotated a third crop in here somewhere, this wouldn't be so much of an issue. I just don't know what third crop I would want. I mean, we could try growing things like cabbages. Yeah, they affect fertility quite a bit, fair enough, but we have enough ways of building up fertility thanks to my peas and my clover and stuff and some fertilizer. It's not so bad, and this would result in quite a decent yield of food. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we start, we just start putting some cabbages in there and see how that impacts our fertility overall. If we still can get through this, not a big deal. Another round of raiders, and again, only in a small group. I don't think, maybe I'm wrong on this, destroying raider camps out in the world does not reduce the damage of raiders themselves, does it? Like, it doesn't reduce the size of a raider group. It can't. Because we already saw, whether we liked it or not, that you can still have like 88 raiders in a single group. So no, that can't be it. It just feels like we're getting really, really small attack waves for some reason. Yeah, no, it's still a very large group. It's 92. It's just for some reason they're only attacking from one direction. Weird. So I'm gonna let them run up the hill to me. I'm gonna go clear out their archers. Have fun, boys. Yeah, this group doesn't stand even a hint of a chance. I got the high ground, and I've obliterated them. Bye. First round of cabbages grown. Seems like we're doing okay here still. I mean, 97% fertility. I didn't expect it to drop much, but I feel like we should easily be able to recover this amount. I think this is good, actually. This is a good way of getting a pretty decent yield on a lot of good food. Plus, more nutritional variety for my people, which is essential. Now, everything we've been doing up to this point, trying to survive as long as we have, As we come up to this exact moment, technology, we've got everything unlocked, all the prerequisites necessary to pick up economic power. The economic monument. Done. All right, we have it. Cool. What does it do? I don't know. Let's find out. It costs 15,000 wealth? Oh, God. It's also not as big as I thought it was going to be, so this is okay. Kind of a wanky-looking building, though. This is supposed to symbolize my economic wealth? Okay, sure, I guess. Why not? Does it do anything? I'm looking it up right now online. It does actually do something. Okay. So if we build this, we'll be able to get increased storage for all vaults and storehouses. Okay. And then Deal Maker. Occasionally, special requests can appear at the trading post with premium payouts if I can accommodate them. Well, that's kind of nifty. All right. I mean, y'all know I have no objection with showing my economic dominance over anyone. I just know that 15,000 gold is going to take me a long time to get, unfortunately. We're not ridiculously far off, but, like, I'm also nowhere near that point. But I could be. Hold on. If I sold off a bunch of these extra hauberks that I don't need, and I don't need them, so someone buying them is always exciting to me, we could make enough money to make this work. Hold on. Yeah. Then I just put this all in the town storage over here. That's 16,000. I'll be broke for a while, but that doesn't mean that I can't do it. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't think it's worth building this right now, even if I could. I mean, realistically, do I need more storage space? Yeah, that would be nice, but, like, it's not that game-changing for me. I could just build more storages for a minuscule fraction of the cost. And then really good deals with premium prices. I guess it just depends on what they're going to ask for. Because I only have a select few goods that I'm even willing to trade in the first place. So if he asks for something, you know, that I don't want to give up, well, then what good does it do me? And the answer is nothing. So I think the amount of time it would take for this to turn a profit is extremely, extremely high. So for that reason, I've got it unlocked. I'll place it, but I'm not going to build it yet. We're going to instead focus on other things, more technology over here. Start working toward, let's say, the cultural monument. What does this even do? Let's find out. It's supposed to give me more decoration options, sure, and then construction and relocation is... Really? 80% less time? That's kind of substantial. Okay, so really all this does is gives me lots of ways of beautifying, huh? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely not building the Gates of Valor until we're at the very end of the series. Why? Because it increases the danger of raiders by like 70% extra health and like 30% more damage with each victory or something. It's ridiculous. This is if you just like are ready to die. I'm not doing that right now. So yeah, we have a fair bit of a ways to go to unlock one more monument. But this is possibly the first one I'll build, maybe, because then I can at least like get more better housing. And with that comes more tax space. And with more tax space, I can afford more monuments. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I want to build this out of principle. But it's so freaking expensive. I don't even have enough clay to make enough bricks to build that thing right now, right? Like, it's just, no, it's not happening. Not yet. Maybe next video. Not right now. Oh, and here we go. Okay, we knew it was only a matter of time. The proper size of raiders is now approaching. 3 separate groups today. All right, how we want to deal with this? They're all coming in around some periods of high ground. Where do I think I can most easily defend? And then I'll just send my army to meet the rest. I feel like this end will be the hardest one to defend against. I'm not really set up with a lot of towers here, so I think we'll go ahead and defend this and attack that group quickly. And then we'll kind of work our way around, probably clockwise in a pattern. See if we can just kill these guys before they even get to the walls. Though it does depend a little bit on who's got what as far as siege equipment is concerned, if any at all. Yeah, these guys over here have a bit. You know what's crazy is we still have not seen any catapults. Somehow. Still. I don't know how that's possible, but we haven't. Should be able to crush this group really quickly. Yeah, they're done for. Okay. Over here, looks like it's mostly just a few archers and warriors, nothing crazy. And over here, okay, this is the largest group. This is the one we have to fight against. All right, so we'll deal with these guys then. Counterclockwise it is. So with this little group, we'll just send the cavalry to do the flanking. They're ignoring them, which is stupid, so we really can just hit all their archers and just crush them from behind. So I'm going to ignore that group. They know what they're doing. Up over here, yeah, this is going to be the trouble area for sure. It's also my best defended area with towers, so we'll see how much good that does me. Southern group is dealt with, just as these guys have officially broken through the gates. But I've arrived just in time to try to defend. If I can save this tower, I would like to. Not sure we're going to get the opportunity, though. These battering rams are doing a pretty good amount of damage to them. No, we destroyed the rams. Maybe we're okay. Let's see. Ah, they got it. Boo! Well, the cavalry should be arriving in just a moment, at which point I'm pretty sure these guys are going to break. Not that there's a lot left, and they're all running away. Okay, no villagers lost. Hey, we call that pretty good. So we'll rebuild all of this area, and in the meantime, I am fulfilling my promise to add on an expansion down over here, which we will turn into some additional housing. It'll take a little while to beautify this area, but that's fine. And I think that puts us in at least a pretty decent position. How many more tech points do I need before I can unlock the final monument? At least, it looks like 5, 1 here and 4 here, possibly more. That's what it would take, though. That would unlock things like the pharmacy and the apothecary. I don't know that medicine's ever going to be very good for us, I'm afraid. We don't exactly produce our own herbs. So we are at least 5 to 10 in-game years away from being able to officially end things with all of the monuments. And in that time, I would need to produce somewhere on the order of 45 to 50,000 gold plus a million other materials. Yeah, it's going to be pretty tall order. But we're going to go ahead and end things here. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, it asks you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.